What's going on, everybody? My name is Marcus. Welcome back to another live stream. Tonight is eBay Q&A for anyone that has any eBay questions that I may be able to answer for you guys. That is what I'm here for. So feel free to drop any questions in the comment section. I will do my best to figure them out for you. If I don't know the answer, we will look it up together, get you guys an answer. Hopefully everybody's doing well tonight. Appreciate everybody for coming out. If you're catching this on the replay, you can leave your questions in the comment section and I will answer those as I receive them. I do answer all my questions that I get in the comment section as well as here in the live stream. So what's going on, Derek? Appreciate you. So let's get it, bro. Keep crushing it. Doing my thing, man. Miss Lachey, how's it going? What's up, Jessica? Resettle Ride. How you guys doing tonight? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. A lot of talk in the Discord about sales being kind of slow. You know, there's ups and downs, guys, and every day is not going to be a dub. You know what I mean? And these are the days where it matters for you to control the controllables, right? You can send lower offers, you can accept lower offers, you can list, make sure you're listing. You can also run a coupon, send buyers from your buyer groups aggressive coupons. There's just things that you can do, right? But the only thing you can't do is control how many people come to your store and buy something. So don't get too down on yourself. Just do the best you can to generate the sales when you get the opportunity, right? So if you get the opportunity to send an offer, send an offer that'll get somebody to bite on it. If you run a store coupon, for example, if you run a 20% off store coupon, don't, for the love of God, don't send a 10% offer, because that's just, number one, that's a waste of a perfect opportunity to send someone an offer that will convert. If you have 20 cent offers and you run a 20% off store coupon, but you send a 10% offer to all 20 offers, you've wasted 20 opportunities to make a sale by sending a coupon or sending an offer that's lower than the store coupon already. So you're going to run everybody off. It's a waste of an opportunity in my book, in my opinion. Um, it just makes no sense. Bobby, what's going on? How you doing from Northeast Ohio? Norma, what's going on? Appreciate you coming hanging out. Anita, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Tiffany, what's going on? How you doing? Uh, Jamila, what's going on? How's sales going for everybody? Like I said, I know some people are having a rough time at it. Me myself, I've only sold 9 things today, so it's not the greatest for me either. But I have hit the monetary goal that I need for the day, so it is what it is. As long as I don't make under that, that's all that really matters to me. Can't be mad at it. I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna just control what I can control, and that's listing 40 quality items every single day on eBay. So I did that, got that done. Grayson, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you. Look at you looking all dapper in your photo there, man. Tuxedo down. That's what's up, man. What you got on your feet in this picture, man? You got dress shoes on or you got some J's on? That would be awesome. So Grayson, he lives in the town. Well, he lives in the next town over. So he's a local guy. Sales are down, but I'm happy with what I have for the effort I'm not putting in. She put not in quotation marks. Hey, or in what are those things called, parentheses? That's fair enough. If you're not putting any effort and still getting results, that's always a good day. I've seen Hustling Hooks didn't list anything and still had $1,000 in sales, which that also goes to show you guys don't have to list every single day to get sales, but you do have to list every day to get consistent sales. Grayson says I was waiting. Wife didn't approve of the J's. Yeah, I know you tried though. I know you asked, huh? Ain't no sneaker seller out there don't want to wear J's on their wedding day. You bumped your listings to 40. Yep. So the goal is, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it next month or not. The goal when I started this year was to do 40 in January, 45 in February, and then 50 in March, and just ride the rest of the year out with doing 50. But I think I might bump it up in 2-month increments just to give the traffic a little bit of time to catch up to the 40. So I'm not struggling to buy the inventory, because I don't want to be forcing my hand at buying inventory or going into my savings to buy inventory or anything like that. So I'm gonna just let the inventory pay for itself. Maybe I'll just bump it up 2 listings a month, and by the end of the year, just be listing 50 that way. But we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Slow, but doing enough here. That's all that matters. As long as you're doing enough, and you're doing what you can to get by. I knew you did. Mr. J, hey everyone, was good, Marcus? Sell's been dipping, but the grind continues. That's all that matters, man. Don't give up, guys. Don't quit. So like for me, let me just pull my chart up. It's weird, right? So it's all over the place as you would expect with eBay usually. It's never 100% consistent, right? But it gives you um consistent enough traffic. So if you guys see here, around the 15th of last week, I had a $502 day, and then the next 2 days were $250, right? The only thing that I can think of is I had a case closed without seller resolution around that time because I had two items go to Florida that never arrived, but on my end it shows tracking package delivered on the 6th. Anyway, around that time is when my sales dipped. So I assume that has something to do with it. The day the case got closed without the seller resolution was the 27th or the 19th. After the case got closed, my sales jumped up to $658 the following day. And they've been kind of hovering around 500 for the last couple of days, except for today. Today I'm at $172. Yesterday I did 467. The day before I did 491. And Saturday I did 434. So it's kind of all over the place. But if you look, every other couple of days I have like a lower day, right? It's like a low day and then 4 or 5 days, then a low day, then 4 or 5 days, except for right here and right here. So I don't really know. There's not really anything I can do to control these things except for list consistently and make sure all my items get delivered on time. I guess I could have went ahead and refunded the buyer on my own, just took the loss since I took the loss anyway. That probably would have been the smart thing to do, but it is what it is. Um, Grayson says, "Do you go to the local thrifts anymore or strictly the bins?" I'm strictly the bins. My brother was working at Teen Challenge, hooking me up with all sneakers, but I really don't enjoy selling sneakers anymore. So I'm literally done on picking up shoes. So I stopped going to the local thrift. That Teen Challenge in Jackson is the only one that I would go to if I did go because their prices are fair. Does listing more change the algorithm for your store? As far as like listing more than I normally do, I don't know because I never list more than what I normally do. I pick a set amount of listings and list that amount consistently. So I feel like if I was to increase my listings, it's going to give me more traffic, it's going to give me more impressions, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to convert more sales. I feel like the listings total increases the amount of conversion at a certain point. So like my store is converting at a 1.8 conversion rate, right? So that means 1.8% of the people that actually watch or see my listings are going to buy. So obviously if I have more listings, then more people are going to convert, but it only converts at like an every 150 listing increment. So I think I did the math, and at like 12,000 active listings, I would be able to have 50 sales a day, but that's just all theory. I can speed that up by listing more in demand items or accepting lower offers just to get 50 sales a day. That doesn't mean anything for the monetary gain from the sales, though. I could be selling all items at a loss and have 50 sales a day, but that wouldn't really mean anything. So I don't think that the listing amount changes my algorithm, in any capacity. I just think the impressions are the impressions for the amount. I think they give each listing a certain amount of impressions based on how well it performs. Ms. Miller says slow sales on eBay, better success on with Macari. I've been hearing that a lot. I've been hearing a lot of other platforms are doing well for people, which is great. I'm glad other people have different methods, alternative routes. Because right now you gotta get what you can. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, bro? Chugging away at 9K, man. You got it, bro. What's up, Ed? How you doing, man? Jay, what's up, bro? Good evening, my guy. No sales on eBay, but 2 sales on Poshmark. Slow day. They're Maybe they're just doing something on the back end on eBay today and we just don't know it. Uh, but we'll just, remain steadfast and see what happens tomorrow. Hey Marcus, have you ever had a package never get scanned in? I utilized USPS Dropbox, and here we are 3 weeks later with the buyer thinking I still have the item. Because, see, so for me, I don't use any drop boxes or anything like that. I legit stand there until they scan all my packages in, simply for these reasons here. I don't want my packages to not get scanned in. I have had packages that do get scanned in even show up as not been scanned in. So, the best thing that I can do to be proactive is make sure I stand there and watch them scan everything in, because it's my account health at the end of the day. It's not their account health. They don't care about your account health. They're not going to do anything more than they have to do. I just happen to have a very on top of it post office that I go to, and they love me there. They know what I do. They realize the importance of that this is a job, and it's their job anyway to scan it in. So they just do what they're supposed to do. Yep, no problem. Kenan says, how do I get in the morning to listen to the podcast? I'm new. So you have to go to Zoom, and then you will log into the Zoom room, the 24-hour Zoom room with the password. And if you have any problems with it tomorrow morning, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but if you have any problems with it tomorrow morning, message me before the call and I'll walk you through how to get on there. But welcome to the group, my dude. Appreciate you coming and joining. I'm sure you'll learn a lot there, man. Like, it's definitely a dub, definitely. Good evening from Washington. Meow Mittens. Meow Mittens, was it you that bought something from me? Somebody had like a name very similar to yours on eBay. Think people think people don't fully understand the algorithm. If you list 20 items a day for 90 days, starting the 91st day, 40 items are going to renew each day, plus you list daily minus the solds. Yes, that is true. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Uh, what's up, Sido? How you doing, my friend? With the 30-day eBay listing refresh cycle. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Lisette, how you doing? Happy Tuesday to you too. Uh, and I want the receipt always because the buyer never gets it, and you can't prove that you can't prove it, then you're kind of screwed, right? And then like the receipt also helps for tax purposes. It proves that you're actually going where you say you're going. But after a while, you don't need that anymore. Once your accountant realizes that you're doing what you say you did. Hey, we got somebody that just joined the Discord, Brandon. I don't know if you're watching right now, but we appreciate you joining. Definitely learning that way. Thanks for the response. No problem. Uh, I knew that was you, the Yoda shirt. I knew that was you. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. You are the best. Let's see here. Top rated plus selling 20 per day. I sold a game for $90 and it didn't work. I had free returns and 1 day handling time. I got a negative feedback. I deserved today dropped me to 99.9. Will eBay remove? If you get the buyer to open a return, yes, they will remove it 100%. But you have to get them to open the return. I don't think it matters if it's your fault or not. Just get them to open the return. The INAD, if they open the return for doesn't work or defective, will still stick, but the feedback should get removed. That's the benefit of Top Rated Plus. As long as you have that free returns and 1 day handling time, you're all good. Let's see here. I dealt with buyer today requesting a refund on an item. So instead of contacting the buyer, I snitched to eBay and got told to do nothing. They will take care of it since the package was delivered. That's true, but they do want you to upload the tracking. And generally, as long as the tracking shows delivered, they're going to side with you because that's you've done your part and the tracking shows that. So, but there's been an instance where, like I said, I got that case closed without seller resolution, and it shows it has been delivered. But there's not much I can do about it but fight the case, and I'm gonna just take the L, man. I really ain't got the time to be trying to finagle and finesse. The whole time I've been reselling, I've never had a problem with just dropping my packages off. My PO is really good at scanning them, and some are like mine. if I didn't, because there's tons of eBay sellers that come in while I'm standing there getting my packages in, and they just sit there at the counter and they look at me like I'm a lame and walk out. That's on them. You know what I mean? I personally, I'm standing there getting all my packages scanned in. And while I'm standing there getting all my packages scanned in and they drop theirs off, someone picks their stuff up and they scan it. But I'm not taking no chances. They're dropping off like 3 or 4 items. I'm dropping off like 25, 30 items. And if it's on a weekend, I'm standing there the whole time making sure that all those are scanned in, because that's 80 almost items that I have to get defects on. That'll ruin my account. So I'm not taking any chances. I'm not playing no games. Norma says her listing impressions are going down 27.4. So 2 weeks ago, mine were down 16%, but as of right now, they're up 11.7%. There's no rhyme or reason. My listing page views are up 11.9%. So really all you can do, Norma, is just continue to list quality items at good prices, and don't because if you're priced too high, even if they get an impression, they're not going to click on it because they automatically see that it's too high. So I would just do your best to list items at market price, and change your title structure around. Maybe your title structure is off, because if you're going down 27%, that is quite a bit. That may mean that your items are not being able to be found in the search. So maybe you're selling similar off someone that has an item like you do, but they have a really poor title, and you're probably doing that a lot, and you're cannibalizing your store with negative stuff being piled on top of each other. So just try and work on your title structure, work on your pricing, and continue to list the same amount of items every day. Bobby says, if I have an issue with shipping, I go to the post office and have them check the tracking. I love my PO. They are always ready to help. So are mine. What's up, Resell Intel? How you doing? Hey, Marcus, where did you buy your recent boxes? I saw you briefly mention them on your day in the life, but didn't catch it. The shipping on Uline does burn. I'd like to go elsewhere for my replacements. So do you mean the small boxes, the hat boxes? Because I got those on eBay with my store coupon. But the other boxes, the 10 by the ones that I use for my storage, I got those on Amazon. And there is a link in my description for those. They're like 20 boxes for like 25, $61 free shipping. And they arrive in like 2 or 3 days. But you also don't have to use my link. You can just go to Amazon and type in 30 by 10 by 10. Meow Mint says, I'm in repair mode and fixing my old listings. How long would you hold on to that item after being fixed before donating it or writing it as a loss? So it depends. If you've had it for quite some time and if you just repaired the listing, I would give it another 90-day cycle. Give it a 90-day cycle, and then go through all the motions of putting it on sale for another 90 days. And if you have it after 6 months after having it for a long time and you've done all the things you can to repair it and get it to move, then you might want to donate it. But me personally, I have not pulled any clothing down off my store yet since I've done clothing for a year. And I'm in the process of marking things down that I've had for a year or more. But once I get there, I will let you guys know on my day in the life videos of what my method was to get the item to the point of donating it again. And, we'll see how it goes from there. But so far, putting things on sale and changing title structures around have gotten things to move. Jay says, I have seen so many different ways of titling items. Is there a solid way of creating the title to make items sell faster? So what you want to do is you want to put yourself in the mind of the buyer. So if you're going to type in, let's just say Cuisinart 6-speed blender, removable lid, or some random stuff like that. Or you could say Cuisinart removable 6-speed something blender. But if a buyer is looking for a Cuisinart blender, that would be the first 2 words that I put in there, Cuisinart blender. And then I would put like the speeds, because people want to know the speeds. And then I would put keywords in there. So you're going to put item, title, like item, you're going to put the brand, then the item that it is. So it's like Cuisinart, then Cuisinart blender, because that's the type of item it is. and then you're going to put the keywords after that. So if it's like a clothing item, you're going to put the brand, so Levi's, then the item, jeans, Levi's jeans, gender, if it's a men or a women's, and then you're going to put the size, then the color, and then any keywords after that. So Levi's jeans, men's 34, blue, dark wash, straight leg, boot cut, whatever the case may be. And you just got to put yourself in the mind of a buyer. Now, there's going to be certain things like Patagonia better sweater. Like the person that wants a Patagonia better sweater is typing in Patagonia better sweater. So I'm not going to say Patagonia sweater. I'm going to say Patagonia better sweater. There's going to be things like certain North Face top dollar items. People are searching for the North Face item, but if it's just a general like North Face Denali fleece, I would just put North Face fleece or North Face jacket, and then put the name later on down in the keywords. Just because I feel like with my results, those are the ways that converts better for my buyer. After having 3 packages not get scanned, I definitely stand in line. It's worth it, definitely. Absolutely. They were pushing that 1-page scan sheet. I don't trust. Dude, I brought the scan sheet in, right? And then you know what they did anyway? They still, after scanning the sheet, scanned every single one of my packages in and said, this thing is worthless because it only scans in every other package, or it only scans in a random number of packages. So we got to scan them all in anyway. So I'll never print out another scan sheet. It was a waste of time. What a flipper. What's going on? Dennis Treasure says, hey, Marcus, finally made it to the bins and found Lily Pulitzer, Tory Burch. Super excited. That's what's up. Good deal. Make sure that Tory Burch is legit. Bro, I was almost out of below standard on eBay after 3 months. I was short for 0.02, now 2.02. Now I'm already on above standard, but need to wait the whole month for new evaluations. So if you're not selling 400 items in a 90-day period, you're going to have to wait a year, but I'm pretty sure you're selling over 400 items in 90 days. But if I was you, man, I don't know why you sell a lot of stuff, man. I don't know why you would get below standard. Maybe, I don't know. I can't even speculate, but just do your best once you get top rated back to stay on top of everything, man, because those fees pile up quickly. Impressions up, click through same, just been listing more. Well, at least they're not down. I remember they were down a lot. So Norma says, I'm lowering prices and working my listings. Thank you. Make sure your titles are good too, though. Random stock apparel. Hi, Dixon. Enjoy your videos. How long did it take you to get traction on YouTube? Took a long time. Really long time. I started my channel in January of 2020. I think maybe it's February 2021. And matter of fact, I'll tell you right now. And it took a long time. It took me like 4 months to even get 100 subscribers. But my channel, my content was kind of garbage. And if you guys go back and watch my older videos, like the first videos on there are so cringe. It's like really, really horrible. I would take them down, but I've been documenting. So I joined January 3rd, 2021 is when I started my channel. And I think up until the summertime, I still had like, I have a video when I hit 100 subscribers. It took me a very long time. And then I still didn't even get monetized until, I want to say March or April of last year. Or yeah, so it was a rough journey, guys. The thing that got me to start getting traction on eBay or on YouTube was when I hit $100,000 on eBay. So a year ago, around this time, it says is when.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Mark.
I don't know exactly when the date is. But yeah, a year ago is when I was still just hitting 100 subscribers. So it's a long journey, man. You got to just kind of provide value. no one's going to watch your content if they're like not learning something from you or not at least enjoying the video. So you can put out content all you want, and if it's garbage, you're not going to gain any traction. And you'll know if your content's garbage because when you're editing it, when you are editing it, you're not even going to want to watch it. And so, like, if that's the point you're at, you got to do better. What's up, Hillary? No problem. Burning dinner, huh? What'd you do? Burn some meatloaf? Does anyone still use Media Mail? I don't trust Media Mail either. I get burned with that. The store did not help me, although it showed it's dropped off. I don't use Media Mail because I sell clothing, but I imagine it's still a viable option. It's just going to be like snail mail. Like the price nowadays of Media Mail, I would assume is just more efficient to just go ahead and pay for first class. I will never remove items to donate. Yeah, I don't plan on it, but if it gets to that point, I'll let you guys know. Jessica says, I just dropped mine in the drum or at the counter. Been lucky so far. Over 2,000 items sold. I always stress a little bit about them messing something up, though. See, it's worth the peace of mind and just get them scanned in. Tim, my guy, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro? Tim is my Ben's buddy. Gym drops. I use Media Mail almost daily. I sell mostly media. So yeah, she's going to be the media expert in the group. If you guys need any information, just ask her in the chat. They lost 2 packages and they told me I needed to raise a ticket, but USPS told me there was nothing they can do with Media Mail, no insurance, nothing. So I lost almost $100. In that aspect, it's worth it to buy the insurance that comes with it. If you're selling a book or something, especially because Media Mail, you got to put it in like some little flimsy package or like an unmarked box. It's worth it to spend what $3 on a $50 investment, especially if it's happened to you more than once. You just got to weigh it on a scale. Is it worth it to fork out $3, especially because you save money on Media Mail, right? So if you're paying $3 something to ship this item out Media Mail, you might as well pay $3 more to get it insured, and it's going to be like the cost of a first class ticket anyway. So just something to think about. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business, but if it's a super sketch anyway, you might just want to fork over the cash in the future. Hillary says she uses Media Mail for lower price items, but higher dollar sales go to priority, so it's insured. Exactly. Mike's Messy Room. What's up from Vegas Strip? Love the channel. Super helpful. Thanks, man. Appreciate the support. And that is the goal. The scan sheet does not even show that every item is processed. Even when you look at the package, it doesn't protect anything. The post office stopped asking me when I said it was useless because it is useless, and they know that. I've been listing a lot of vintage clothing lately. Would you put vintage as the first word? I also found the specific vintage clothing category recently. The vintage clothing category is garbage. Don't use it. First of all, I'm going to stop you right there now. And then second of all, it depends on the vintage item. So if it's like a vintage St. John's Bay or like vintage Tommy Bahama shirt, the buyer of a Tommy Bahama shirt is not looking for a vintage Tommy Bahama shirt. So I'll put the keyword in there, but I'll usually put it towards the end. If it's like a vintage concert shirt of some sort, then I'm going to put vintage first. Or if it's like a vintage wrestling shirt, I'm going to put that first. But like a vintage Gap sweatshirt, that's kind of like touch and go. If it's a cool vintage sweatshirt, I'll probably put vintage in the beginning. But it just depends on what it is, honestly. There's going to be certain items that sell for more if they're vintage, but if it's not going to net more money because it's vintage, I don't usually put it in the front of the listing. Hopefully that makes sense. Too many cancellations. Yeah, bro, that's that cross listing, man. Cross listing is the death of eBay. That really sucks. Sorry that happened. When I have an expensive media item, I ship it from there you go. eBay. Well, I stuck with you, so it couldn't have been that bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it was horrible, but it just wasn't as it didn't provide any value like it does now. eBay rewards for more activity. Went from listing 2 a day to 5 a day, and wow, what a difference. DraftBank adds a huge advantage, especially when you work 50 plus hours a week at your day job. The DraftBank is so clutch, man, for real. Like, I don't know what I would do without the DraftBank, because I'd be literally tied to eBay 7 days a week, and then it just wouldn't be any fun, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, I actually thoroughly enjoy listing items on eBay, but I also thoroughly enjoy rest, you know. So plus the Bible says, you know, you need to take a day of rest. So I definitely use the draft bank to be able to take days off. Uh, Better to spell out size, example size M. I leave the word size out completely because I don't feel that a buyer's typing in Levi's jeans, the word size, and then 34, 34. Me personally, I have never looked up an item and put the word size in there when I'm looking for it. Even on a pair of shoes, I've never used the word size. Now, if in a category that I would use the word size, it would be the shoe category because you can have a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 2 or a Jordan 11, and then it might confuse the shoe size that you're searching for as a model make. So it'll bring all types of skewed search results up. So in the shoe category, I would use the word size before the shoe size. But in the clothing category, I just put men's medium, men's large, men's extra large, women's large. I don't use the word size. Learned Marcus learned three new jeans brands lately: Driftwood, Mountain Khakis, and Taylor Stitch. I've never found Taylor Stitch. I have found Mountain Khakis once before. It was cargo pants they sold for $50, and I've never heard of Driftwood. But yeah, Taylor Stitch is another good one. Yep, no problem, Jessica. Absolutely. I go to first class or priority flat rate when I can. I didn't know the insurance was possible on media. I never seen that option show up. Perhaps I mean, maybe it won't be, but I figure you can put insurance on anything, can't you? I mean, I'm no expert, guys. You know, I just assume that if you could put it on first class or priority, you could put it on media. See nasty. Hey Marks, do you always promote your listings? And if so, what percent and why? I promote at 10% because if you look at most categories, or at least in the clothing categories, the suggested rate is like 7, 8%. So I just try to do a little bit more than that. So I just promoted a flat rate of 10%. And I promote everything. There's only one listing on my store right now that's not promoted at all. And that's a Yeti camouflage mug for my pastor. It's a consignment, and uh, I'm not promoting it because it's rare and it's getting enough traction as it is. Plus, I don't need to be paying a bunch of fees on a $200 coffee mug. Thanks for the help. I appreciate you. No problems. The Outpost. Call me a cheater, but I just looked at tech and sports listing and copy off those. Boom. You're the worst. You're the worst. As long as you're not copying it verbatim, you know, you might switch a word around in the title or so, and you know, don't copy his description, then that's all good because you're not like totally plagiarizing him. But he absolutely hates that. Just so you guys know. Um, Taylor Stitch just sold me one for $230. Let's go. Congratulations. That is an awesome sell. Yeah, I still have yet to find it. I've been on the lookout for it. But never found it. Driftwood is fire. And I've never heard of the Driftwood, so let's look that up. But I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout for it. Driftwood. Okay, let me share this screen with you guys. Okay. So we got Driftwood jeans. So women's clothing. 59. Let's go to used. 1,000 listings. Let's go to sold. 473 sold. So we kind of got comps all over the place. We got a 60 best offer, 49, 50. So it's pretty decent. 89 best offer, 28, 79 best offer. We got a 60. So yeah, I'll definitely pick it up. You know, I sell stuff for $12 and $15. So this would be a big win in my book. It's definitely got a look to it, like with the flowers and stuff embroidered on there. So that's something for me to be looking for. Yeah, right on. Let's look at Taylor Stitch. I know that I've seen this stuff. It's just bananas. Yeah, all high sales prices. $220 best offer on a hoodie. 54, 27. She got some shackets. They probably didn't know what they were doing. I wouldn't have put no Taylor Stitch on a auction, especially new. They were tripping. They did it twice. They didn't learn from their mistakes. What do you guys feel about auctions, man? Like, unless it's like some rare like vintage item that's like super in demand, I'm not putting anything on auction. But yeah, there's pretty good sales prices here: 125, 30, 30, 79. So it seems like their jackets, like button up shirts and stuff, go for more than the pants do. But yeah, pretty good. Let's see. No, I don't copy and paste. I just use the formats. That's the way to go. The format, the way he lays out his title structure is on point. On the promoted listings, when you sell the item, eBay takes 10% correct, and the listing pops up in the top of the search and says sponsored correct. Yep, that's true. But you can also sell the item even if it is promoted without someone seeing it by being promoted. Like, so say someone goes to my store because they get a coupon from me, or like they're just a repeat buyer and they just search through my store for whatever size they're looking for and they buy an item, then it's not going to be promoted. But yeah, if you go to search and then my item pops up at the top and then you buy it because of that, then I'm going to get charged a 10% fee. But that's okay with me. If you don't promote high in a category that has thousands of listings, it makes sense to list between 10 and 15%. You might be giving a little money back to eBay, but at least your item sells. And it's up to you. I've sold plenty of items promoted at the lowest. When I was promoting at 1%, I was still selling items unpromoted. But when I cranked it up to 10%, I started selling a lot more. Let's see. I just tuned in and got a cha-ching. Your good luck, Marcus. Hey, that's what's up. How you doing? I really appreciate you coming and hanging out. The Taylor Stitch jackets new are $300 up to $700. Yeah, I see some of those sales comps are crazy. The embroidered ones are the best. So yeah, that's what it was looking like as well. If you get lucky and find a jacket from Taylor Stitch, look for waxed cotton jacket. Okay, so that would be, I'd assume, the one that goes from 300 to 700. For books, try parcel post with added insurance. I have sold a few books in the past. I haven't had any issues with media mail. Okay, that's a good suggestion. And how you doing, Wanda? Appreciate you coming and hanging out. Everybody, remember, hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Hillary. Appreciate that. Definitely no auctions. Yeah, I've sold one listing on auction before, and it was 14 vintage Barbie dolls. I paid $1 for each of them, and I sold the listing for $14. So there was a loss. Action or auctions are absolutely horrible unless you have very desirable collectible. Yep, definitely. How do you dispute an INAD? Is it a legit INAD or is it a false INAD? Like, do you deserve the INAD? Because if you deserve it, you don't dispute it. If it's a false INAD, you report the buyer. And this is very simple, guys. You report the buyer by not refunding the original shipping. So you don't even have to do anything else. But I would put in the notes section why it's a false INAD and why you're not giving them back the original shipping. And then put what your opinion of the correct return reason would be. And generally, if you do that and you're legit, right in the reason why you feel that way, eBay is going to remove the feedback, and then you'll know, or they'll remove the INAD. And the way you'll know that is, I think it's at the end of the 90-day cycle, the season. Check your reports for your return reasons, and it'll say next to the item that got the INAD removed that it was removed. Let's see. If I list something and I get a bunch of offers immediately, I'll seriously consider changing the listing to an auction. Yeah, or either I'll end the listing and then list it for much, much higher. Auctions can bite you. Got to know what you're doing. I do junk lots only on auction, starting to believe it brings more traffic to your store, or maybe it's donating to charity. I feel like when I was donating, I used to do 10% to charity. I feel like I got quite a bit of sales on the charity versus when I stopped doing it and start just donating in person. I feel like but at that point in time, my store was nowhere near as big as it is now. But I feel like I made a ton of sales for charity. C Nasty says, "What's an INAD? It is an item not as described." What that means is, so say I sold you a video game and or a PlayStation or something, and it doesn't work, but I sold it to you as a working condition. That's an item not as described. So it literally means you described it in a way that it's not, and so therefore it's not as you described it to be. So item not as described returns or doesn't work or defective, missing parts or pieces, item arrived damaged. I think there's another one. Doesn't match description or photos. Those are going to be your item not as described returns. Those, they don't necessarily hurt you, but too many of them make your final value fees increase by 5%. So on top of the whatever fees you're getting based off of your category, off top or on top of those fees, you're going to be getting taxed an additional 5% for 3 months or even for a year, however long it takes you for those to fall off. Now, like I said earlier, if you sell 400 items every 3 months, your INADs are going to start over every 3 months. So you'd literally only have to deal with the 5% increase for 3 months. Now it's also categorical. So say if you got an everything store, but your INADs came in the clothing category, you would get charged a 5% final value fee in the clothing category. Your electronics category would still be safe. You wouldn't be paying an additional 5% in that category. But the thing is, you would still have to sell 400 items plus in the clothing category to dig yourself out of the trouble that you got yourself into with the INADs. So I hope that makes sense. Do you fill in leg opening size on the information list? If so, do you insert cross flat size or multiply by 2 like waist and measurement? So I don't fill that out, but I do take a picture of it. And if I was to fill it out, I would just multiply the flat lay by 2 like I do the waist. Yep, no problem. Let's see. Hey, Laura, how you doing? Hello. I heard if we donate to churches, we can't claim it on taxes anymore. You can claim $300, up to $300. The next tax break is like 15 grand. So yeah, it's not going to do anything past 300, but that doesn't stop me from donating. So yeah. Just do it and write off what you can. You know what I mean? I don't really know like the generalization of like donating stuff to Goodwill and you get the tax forms. I don't know how that works, but I know my accountant told me it's $300 max, and that's what I've claimed the last couple of years on taxes. So it is what it is. That's the 2% of problems. Like I'm just gonna keep on doing what I do. Eventually I'll get to the next tax bracket. So anybody got any more questions? We got 17 more minutes. 17 more minutes. So this is the floors for you guys. Any questions that you can ask, I will answer. What's up, Miss Q? How you doing? 78 of you guys hanging out right now. Really appreciate that. If you guys could hit the thumbs up, that would be awesome. And consider joining the Discord, man. The Discord's growing. I think we're at like 150 members right now. It is free. Link in the description. It's just a bunch of resellers hanging out. So yeah, I have not sold anything during this live stream, which is definitely weird for me. Normally I sell at least one thing. Appreciate all your help as always. No problem, man. That's what I'm here for. I feel like if I can give back anything and help anybody make at least $1, then it's worth it. Never want to just make it all about myself. Buyer pays for returns or free returns. Well, I answered your question this morning, but I do free returns. I pay for the return shipping only because there's you get top rated plus if you offer free returns, 1 day handling time, and free returns, 1 day handling time, and yeah, that's really all you need, I guess. And you already got to be top rated. You'll get a top rated plus badge on your listings, but it also protects you from negative feedback. It protects you from well, the money you save 10% final value fees on your listings, right? So the money that I save on the items that I do sell successfully covers the returns that I do get. So if I sell 600 items successfully in a month, but I only get 5 returns, all those fees, the 10% of $600 or $600 worth of or 600 sales worth of money covers any returns that I get. So if I sell 600 items for like 4 or 5 thousand, whatever dollars, I'm just throwing out numbers. There's no way that 10% of that doesn't cover 5 returns, 5 return shipping prices. Especially for me, a lot of my items are first class. A few years ago, the max deduction for places like Goodwill was $500, I believe. That might be right. I don't know. I've only been doing this for 2 years, so I would not know. What did you do fun this week, Marcus? Nothing. I went to the gym earlier for the first time in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Uh, that was fun. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. Yep. I went to Outback Steakhouse for my birthday dinner tonight. Steak was good. That's what's up. Happy belated birthday. Or is today your birthday? Because I feel like last week you said something about it was your birthday. Is it a good idea to add NA? No, never. Never. Always leave it blank. Never put NA on anything. And if you don't know an item specific and you can't look it up, like I Google what item specifics are so I can find out if that item specific pertains to the item. Because some of the item specifics don't pertain to your item that you're selling. So if I don't need to fill it out, I'm not going to fill it out. But if I don't know it and I can't find it by Google researching it, then I don't. I just leave it blank. How are you coping with the egg prices, raising chickens? It's crazy. I literally buy eggs from my pastor that raises chickens, and he was selling them to me for $2 a dozen. Now he's selling me, and now he's charging me $3.50 a dozen. So even my fresh from the farm eggs are the prices are going up. But it's crazy because like since I work out, like eggs are like one of my biggest sources of protein next to like legit protein powder. So I'm definitely feeling the hit. I was buying a 48 count for $5.97 at the beginning of all this. Now it's $18-$20 for a 48 count. It's crazy. Thank you. I'm almost top rated. But when you get there, just make sure you offer free returns and you got 1 day handling time. If you don't have 1 day handling time, you're not going to get it. You'll still be top rated, but you won't get top rated plus. And that's how you get the 10% final value fees to cover the the fees from any returns. But you will be eligible for negative feedback removal though. Let's see. What's up, Roman? How you doing, bro? Yep. Happy birthday, Laura. I did 200 drafts and 25 completely listed today so far. Trying to get at least 50 launched tonight. Why you got how did you do 200 drafts in a day? That's crazy. You must have been listing like all smalls or like items with barcodes or like media or something. That's incredible. The most I've ever listed in a day was 70. And now I do that every day. Well, the most I've ever drafted in a day is 70. And that's what I do. Well, I'm doing 60. I'm tripping. I do 60. The goal is to get to 70. Okay, it is today. All right. Well, I feel like you said something about it last week. Maybe you just mentioned it was coming up, or maybe I can see into the future. That's awesome, Lemons Q. Yeah, it is. That's crazy. That's amazing. What does the character section available on eBay suggest that they need to get rid of it? This would mostly be a non-applicable. So it's like for like toys or like a shirt that may have a character on it, like a superhero shirt or something like that. But for the most part, it doesn't apply to. At least it doesn't apply to a clothing listing. Never thought eggs would be a luxury. That's right. I already know exactly what you mean. Somebody posted a meme of a chicken walking around with like Louis Vuitton on. Will you give a try to add a video to your listings instead of photos? No. I don't sell anything that's that high value to where I need to provide a video for it. I think that works if you like want to show an electronic device working, like a PlayStation or like a microwave working. You want to show that it actually works. You can do it that way, but I'm not going to do that just for some clothing. How did you decide to resell clothing? I resell video games because it's always been a hobby, but sourcing in my local area is challenging. I pick clothing because it's the only thing I can find uh, 60 items, 40 items a day of, no problem. Um, I could find shoes in a fair amount, but I can only list about 10 a day in the shoe category before like it started getting hard enough for me to obtain enough of them. And I would have to literally spend like days on the road, like trying to get a whole week's worth of inventory. So clothing, I can go to the Goodwill bins. I can buy all of my inventory, all 300 listings in one day. And then I don't have to go sourcing for the rest of the week. So that's why I pick clothing, not because it's like, a cool category to sell in, just because there's so much of it. Like when you go to the thrift store, the biggest section in the thrift store is clothing. So that's just me. If I could sell something else and make more money and get it in enough quantity, I would, but I don't know where those items are. Eggs are over $5 a dozen in Dallas. I stopped buying eggs. Yeah, it's like that here too. I think it's like $8 a dozen here almost. Uh, I live in the middle of the United States. Thanks, Jamila. Been at it for 12 hours today. That's crazy. So what are you listing, Miss Q? What are you listening to where you got 200 drafts going? I was kind of claiming my birthday this whole month. Okay, that makes sense then. I have a return. Guy says he bought the shirt for a party and he needs to return it. He also said the reason was not as described because the colors were not the same, but they clearly were. Thoughts? So I just had the same situation. I had a pair of mother jeans that I listed and they sold. The lady said that they were darker in person. I was going to fight the case, but at the end of the day, uh, that's not going to probably get removed by eBay because I guess opinions matter on colors. So it's an unwinnable INAD. So I just went ahead and took the loss. I just figured out the settings in my phone to be able to change items when the in pro mode. I can change the darkness of the screen to match the color more accurately. So hopefully moving forward, I won't have that return too often. But it is something that you will run across. So, just take the loss when it comes, unfortunately, at least for the color reason. Let's see. Do you do one day or same day handling time? I have same day handling time if the buyer pays before 6 o'clock in the morning Central Time. If they pay after that, even if it's 6:01, I'll ship the next day. But yeah, I have same day handling time. It's not on all my listings, but most of them have 1 day handling time. I changed all my listings to free returns and I do next day shipping. I still have not been moved to top rated plus. Uh, it's not like a designation, it's listing based. So any listing that you have that you offer free returns on, 1 day handling time, and you're already top rated plus will have a top rated, or you're already top rated, will have a top rated sale on that listing. So as long as you already have top rated seller status and then you offer free returns and 1 day handling time, those listings will show to the buyer that it's top rated plus. Let's see. I use James listing technique for like items, game changer. Yep. I pretty much do the same thing, but I just sell similar from my store. So instead of creating templates, how long does it take you to draft list 60? It's like 5 hours. So it's like 2 hours for the photos, 2.5 hours for photos sometimes, and then like 2.5, 3 hours for the listing part. That's 60 start to finish. Let's see. I literally thought about Marcus when I seen the egg prices. I have to cut back like eggs are a luxury. It's same. It's not the ideal situation for me to be in. Patches, media, plush, and 25 random items. That makes total sense. Patches are like super quick. I had a bunch of military patches I got from a guy at a yard sale. Those were like 1 second listings. All I had to do was just like take a photo of the front and back. Boom, 2 pictures. So similar. Bada bing, bada boom. Uh, Media is pretty fast too when you just scan a barcode. If you have a bad sales day, how aggressive do you send offers for? It depends on how long the day's been bad. So like I kind of got a strategy about my offers. Starting, well, I send offers for what my store coupon is all day long until about 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, I get more aggressive. I go up to 30%. And then at 9 o'clock, I go up to 33 to 35%. 35% is the max that I'll go, just because anything past 35%, I start cutting into my profit margins. So that's just what I do. But it just depends on how bad the day is. If it's been a great day all day long, I just only send 25% offers all day long. It just depends on how bad of a sales day. So like right now where I'm at, like under $200, I'm sending 35% offers on anything for the rest of the day because I'm trying to get as much income as I can for the rest of the afternoon or for the rest of the evening. I mean, Roman says he stopped eating eggs, didn't have any eggs for at least 3 weeks. What's up, Adam? How you doing, bro? Sorry to hear about your printer return, buddy. That's tough, man. $44 for return shipping is rough. Retail arbitrage shoes, bro. Dixon Pickins, good money there. Yeah, man. I don't have the stores that you have near. I don't have any Ross, TJ Maxx. Well, actually, there's one TJ Maxx, but there's never anything there. But I don't have anything like that in my little small town. If I was to drive to St. Louis, where I go to the bins at, there's plenty of them all around there. But I'm going there for shoes. Uh, or I'm going to the bins for clothing. So I'm usually tapped out by the time I get to the bins on the amount of items that I need for the week, and I try to not overbuy. So I did retail arbitrage up there at the Ross and the TJ Maxxes and stuff like that when I first started watching your videos, and I made some good money, but I never found like even a third of the awesome stuff that you find in your videos. I flipped that says had a lady not pay for an item, then bought it again and paid. Didn't read the description saying that items were broken. Can now she left two negative feedback. One of them was never bought. Still shouldn't get two. Okay, so she never bought the item. That feedback should get removed, no questions asked. And if you put it in the listing that it was broken, all you have to do is get her to return the item, and eBay should remove that negative feedback because you did your part and you put it in the description that it was broken. It's not your fault that they didn't read the feedback. Just make sure you get them to send the item back. Cell phones are made to try to make the picture better. It's not natural, right? And like, so when I first got my Galaxy, it was making like clothing look like super good and crispy and like really bright, vibrant colors and like bold and like brand new looking. It's like Photo Room does for, when you remove the white background, it makes your used item look like a brand new item. So like I turned off that filter stuff that comes with my camera and just adjusted the actual settings and like the white balance and the shutter speed and the ISO. And now that I know how to adjust it, I can do it on an item by item basis. So like when I get a white tee and like the light wants to bleed out, like make the color like so whitewashed out, or like a red turns really, really bright red and you can't even see the item you're looking at. I know how to adjust that now. Whereas before, like 2 weeks ago, I didn't know how to do that. So I was taking pictures of red items and you couldn't even see like if the item had a graphic on it or not. So just things like that, man, really make your photos look a lot more realistic. That way the buyer is well aware of what they're getting. I get the feedback a lot of times. Item looked better in person than it did on eBay, or like, looked better in person. Thanks. Or I'm super happy. Item way better than expected. I'd prefer to undersell my item than oversell it. I don't want a buyer to get it and be like, this looks like garbage in person, not what I expected. You know what I mean? I love getting that the item looks better when they get it because that means that I'm doing my best to relay the actual description of the item and I'm not overselling the item. Yes, only because I was a week, 2 week late, baby. Oh, okay. I was a 3 month early, baby, I believe. Got my calendar today, Adam. Thanks. Let's see. Just had a men's Carhartt vest size large return. Buyer said it was a women's medium. Got it back, relisted, and sold the same day. Buyer left me feedback that said item just as described. Happened to you? Happens all the time. Happens all the time. I'll sell something, get the item back, and then the next person loves it. They love it so much. Yeah, no problem, Tiffany. Templates make listings so far. I think you mean so fast. Can't believe I never tried it before. It really is amazing for everything sellers. Yeah, definitely. Um, I used it used to take me so long to clean shoes, but now I source them better where I do less cleaning. Shoes do very well for me, great ASP. Shoes do have a great ASP, but like you said, if you're picking up pairs that require a lot of cleaning and you're like spending 30 minutes on one shoe, then it definitely takes away because you got to count that time in. Like the time you spend cleaning the shoes, all that adds up to cost of goods. So like if you buy a pair of shoes for say $5, then you spend an hour cleaning them, and then you only sell them for $15. In my head, you lost money. Some of these return are buyer's remorse or renting an item for a day. Yeah, that's definitely true. The renting an item for a day thing is real. Still, I've been working hard for 12 hours to get these done. No barcode needed today. That's what's up. What are you doing this for? Is this just going to be your new norm, or are you like cramming for a vacation or something? Yeah, I won't source shoes that need anything more than a quick wipe down. Yep. Home decor, throws, and blankets also do very well. $30 to $40 ASP. That is true. That's just something that takes up a lot of space and it's a lot of money to ship, and um, I'm just not rocking with it. Yep, you do got it, Miss Q. Yes, throws are usually good flips, just kind of a pain to get good photos. Yeah, it is really difficult to take photos of like a blanket or like a throw or something, especially if you don't have a photo process like for that said thing. It's like me, I don't have this space. Like my board right there is only 4 by 5, so like even bibs, like really long Carhartt like bibs, are difficult to photograph on there. Did you get any progress in finding a new vehicle for your business? No, not yet. It's not something that I'm going to do immediately. It's just something that I'm planning on, or like I'm thinking about if it's a viable option for me. Just because my car isn't the safest in bad conditions, and it just doesn't fit a lot of stuff in there. But it's kind of something that I'm going to put off until the last minute, so it might not even get done this year. It just depends on how busy of a year I have. Yeah, that printer situation sucks, but part of the bid is I actually told him not to return it and I gave him a full refund. 45 was the original shipping cost. Yeah, it's still tough though, bro. Make sure to hit the thumbs up. I gave her a full refund, $10, and said just keep it. And this happened 2 months ago, and now she's finally leaving negative feedback on both. Yeah, that's tough, bro. You're probably going to be stuck with that. I would still reach out to eBay or try to message the buyer and see if they'll do a feedback revision because you did give them their money back and you solved their issue, and then see what they said from there, and just try to get the buyer to admit that they're satisfied in the messages between you two, and as long as they tell you that they're satisfied with the way the transaction ended up, maybe eBay will remove the feedback for you. Let's see. I also have a Galaxy and having the same problems, been struggling to fix the camera settings. Did you just Google how to change them? No, there's a guy in the reseller Nirvana mentorship that specializes in photos, and he runs a photo call. Like he'll literally help you with your photo setups. And I asked him, why does eBay rotate traffic? Do you ever have huge sales days followed by very slow sales days? Is that normal even when you post consistently? Yes, it's normal. And I showed that earlier on my metrics. I had like 3 bad sales days in a row followed by the highest sales day of the month. So it's like all over the place. All you can do is just do your part to stay consistent and list the same type of items. Like if you're an everything seller and you're listing like all like really high ticket items like one day, and then the next day you're listing all books that don't have a high sell through, then you're probably gonna have a fluctuation in traffic just like the way you list. But if you list the same type of items, the same amount of items every single day, your traffic will stay fairly consistent. However, you might only sell all $5 items one day, and you're just not going to make that much money, even though you sell the same amount of items you normally do. I hear you. I throw it on my couch and make sure there's natural lighting, and boom. Yep, that's a pretty good way to do it. What are your favorite bread and butter brands that you find at the bins? Levi's, like Talbot's, Polo, Lauren Ralph Lauren. Um, what else? Like Buffalo David Biden jeans, things like that. And then just like graphic tees that look really cool. What's up, Craig? Pity messaged me and asked if she could send it. So sweet. How often do you do Q&A? This is very informative, thinking about becoming a reseller. Every Tuesday night, I do Q&A on my channel here, 7 to 8 o'clock. So yeah, but you can, if you subscribe to my channel, you can literally leave a comment in any video and I'll answer whatever questions you have. Or you can reach out to me on Instagram and I'll answer any questions you have. Or you can join my Discord, link in the description, and I'll answer any questions you have. How do you handle people who ask for additional information for new items? For instance, texture, fit. I kind of feel like people waste our time to buy elsewhere. Like, do you go to Macy's asking for fit? If it's a question that I can answer without having to go back in the item, then I'll answer it. But if they want me to like go do something else, I'll tell them I'll get back to them, and I never get back to them. He does this every Tuesday. Yep. And then I do a podcast with my co-host on every Thursday, but it's more like kick it, like just chill based, although you can ask questions and we will answer them. But my channel is specifically set around teaching you how to do eBay or helping you make more money at eBay. So you know, I'm all 100% all the time help people do better on this channel. So anytime you ask a question, I have to answer it because that's what the channel's about. Most buyers on eBay won't leave any feedback. Is it bad to have sales with no feedback at all? If so, how do I convince them to do it? I've sold over 8,000 items. I've only got like 2,400 feedback. So some people are never going to leave feedback. Some people, if you ask them to leave feedback, will leave negative feedback. So you can do like I do, and I put thank you cards in my items when they sell, and I ask people on the card if they're satisfied, leave feedback, or if they have an issue to reach out to me before leaving feedback. But now at this point, I kind of just don't even care about feedback anymore. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I don't want negative feedback, but it doesn't matter if a buyer leaves more positive feedback for me. I've got 2,400 feedback that shows future buyers that I can do a good job. Now, does it make me feel good when I get positive feedback? Of course. But is it something that I'm diligently chasing after? Not anymore. I'm not even going to put thank you cards in my orders anymore, just because that's an additional cost that I can like minimize. And you know, by all means, it's fine for anybody to do that. You know, you don't have to not do that. But at my level that I'm doing it at, I'm spending $50 like every 2 weeks to buy thank you cards, and it's kind of I can buy more items to list on eBay with that money. Is Thursdays on your channel or Good Game Grabs? This week it'll be on my channel. Happy to have caught alive. Happy to have you here. I changed all the bulbs in my house to daylight bulbs, all of them, so I can take good pics anywhere in the house, garage, living room, floor, bedroom, closet, anywhere. It's a big help. Yeah, I did too. I got all daylight bulbs, but my living room doesn't have a ceiling bulb, so I literally just have these two lamps right here, and they're daylight bulbs, 5,000 Kelvin, and I set the white balance on my photo screen or in my computer, in my camera settings to 5,000 Kelvin to match the light. Any idea on how to authenticate a vase? I have no idea. I have no knowledge of vases, vases, whatever. I don't know anything about it. I would totally probably get ripped off. Been a sub for about a week. Proud of your beliefs. Hey, Jesus is the way. The LA Benz are $289 a pound. That's how Texas is. How much do you think the prices will raise this year? I can imagine that they'll probably raise twice in a year, like they do with the post office. I don't understand what their pricing strategy is or what metrics they use to determine the increase in prices. But I feel like there's only so high they can go, right? Because at a certain point, it's just going to get ridiculous to where it doesn't make any sense to buy certain things at the bins. So I don't know, man. They went up about 30 cents in my bins this year. Hopefully they don't go much higher than that. We're at $1.89 right now. So what's the exact formula for clothing titles SEO? It has to be an exact order for search to find your item, right? Thanks. So it's going to be the brand, the item, the gender, the size, the color, and then the keywords. Let's see. I was literally going to ask you about the thank you cards if you still gave them to customers. I just ran out of them like last week, 2 weeks ago. And I just haven't bought more, but I still have thousands of items with them inside of them. Like I put one inside of every item, whether it sells or not. There's a thank you card inside of it. Looking to buy business cards to give out at market events or conventions with info from our Macari and eBay info. Do you have a company that you would recommend with decent quality at good price? I went to UPS. They made my thank you cards and they made my business cards. And my thank you cards were business card size. Just instead of being a business card, it just said thank you on there and whatever I wanted on there. And it's $50 for 1,000. Um, I just use UPS because it's local. You could probably get a better deal on Vistaprint. I remember back when I had my personal training business, I would use Vistaprint and I would just use free promotions. So I would get like 100 business cards for like $5. And it was a really good deal then, but I had to keep on like getting promotions and things like that in order to do it. But you can go on Vistaprint, create your design, and then leave it in your cart, and they'll email you with a coupon like, "Hey, come back and pay for your offer. Here's this coupon," and you'll be able to get a good deal like that. But I want my stuff done like right then and there, so that's why I use UPS because it's local. What is your average sales price? What's your goal? My average sales price right now is it fluctuates, obviously, because sometimes sales are higher, sometimes sales are lower. But right now, average sales price is $22.16, which it's down 1.3%. And that's fine with me. I pay $1.40 per item. $1.40 and the $22 works for me. Uh, and and I would obviously I'd like to make more money, but I source from the bins. So, the average item I find isn't going to be worth more than $20, $30, you know what I mean? So that works for me. I get business cards from Vistaprint and have been happy with them. Yeah, Vistaprint's going to be a pretty good viable option. Like I said, I used to use them and it definitely works. So yeah. Well guys, we're 12 minutes past the hour. If no one's got any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. But I appreciate everyone's time. Appreciate everyone coming hanging out with me. Hope I was able to answer any of your questions. And if you didn't get your question answered, make sure to either join the Discord, hit me up on Instagram, or message me in the comment section of any video. And I'll be happy to answer your questions and do what I can to help you guys achieve any success or at least just grow your business or make more money at your business. But yeah, guys, with that being said, that's going to do it for this one. Catch you guys on the next one. But until then, let's make this cash.